Hey, everyone. Galloway Stevens here, and I want to welcome you to another episode of Cab Gab, the place where Oregon Cabaret Theater fans and followers and friends can tune in to stay connected, informed, and most importantly, entertained. They say the neon lights are bright at Cab Gab. On today's episode, we're going to be talking a little bit about what's currently going on at Oregon Cabaret Theater and what's to come. September the 9th through November the 7th, Oregon Cabaret is going to be providing a cabaret series. And that's going to be a varietal of many different kinds of acts that we really think that our audiences will enjoy. A lot of solo singing artists, some local bands that are celebrated here in Southern Oregon, as well as some comedic actors that are doing some one-man and one-woman shows that are just going to be a lot of fun. So for more information on that, make sure that you visit our website. We will have another young artist who has been on our stage, alum Carrie Lyn Brandon. It is called Phantom to Fleetwood, the music that made me. And she's just a huge talent. She's in such a huge heart as well. I'm so excited that she's coming to join us. And her show will be playing on September 16th, September the 17th, and then again on September the 23rd. And she was so nice to check in with me and to agree to join me for today's Cab Gab episode. So let's welcome her to the show. Hi, Carrie. How are you doing?
Galloway, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see your face.
It's so good to see you too, especially with that glorious mustache.
Oh, you like my mustache?
I love it. I wish I could grow one myself.
I did it for Kike.
I love it.
Do you know who Kike is?
Oh, no, I don't.
Kike Hernandez? He's a player for the Los Angeles Dodgers, you know.
Oh, well, that's why I don't know or care who he is at all.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Really? Because I happen to be a Giants fan and I'm not a big fan of the Dodgers.
Oh.
To put it lightly.
Well, this has been a wonderful Cab Gab, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, but no, it really is good. It's great to see your face. I haven't seen your face since that sad morning that you left Ashland, because you were in the cast of the Spitfire Grill that was supposed to have opened in the spring when everything went down. Can you speak a little bit about that show? Because it's so sad. I don't know if many of our viewers and our patrons that follow us know, but that show was up and really pretty much it was ready to go. It was ready to open, and your cast stayed here in town with us on the off chance that at any time something would get figured out quickly and we would be able to reopen.
So I remember driving to Ashland and kind of talking to people, hearing whispers about numbers growing, but really it was at the point where we didn't really think much of it. I was in New York the week before and actually saw basically the last week of Broadway. I saw 5 Broadway shows that week, and it's pretty crazy to think that, those were some of the last audiences for a while. So then we got to Ashland, we rehearsed the show. We actually put the whole show up. So we did 2 full weeks of rehearsal, and kind of every day on the second week, there were more and more shutdowns. And every day we came to rehearsal, trying to bring our full energy and all of our hope and our heart and our brains to it. Because it was a tough undertaking. I mean, to have all the actors playing all of the music for a show that wasn't written to be performed that way was a big task. And so things were really coming together. We finished staging, and at that point, we knew that we would be doing 1 run of the show and then going on hold before Tech Week. So we hadn't gone into Tech, but we finished the show. We were able to do kind of 1 run, which was really magical. Rick was there recording some of the stuff so that we wouldn't forget it, assuming we were going to come back. And looking back on that video, we're just like beep booping around, being like, we don't know what we're doing. But then there were also these moments, like Natasha and I singing the duet, The Colors of Paradise. And over this whole time, she really became a sister to me. Like, we became so close. But I remember looking at her and kind of having this moment of, we don't know what's going to happen, but we have this moment.
And the colors of paradise come.
Now, Spitfire Grill, though, is not your first show at Oregon Cabaret Theater. You're no stranger to our stage. The show prior to that you had done was the last season's production of Beehive.
Yes. Beehive, you're my baby. So much dancing, so much shoulder work. It was great. Thank you, Keenan.
I was very impressed with Keenan, who did the choreography. I was like, how many different ways can you make a bevel look great? I mean, it was just like popping, shoulder, popping, bevel, hand. What was some of your favorite parts about being involved in Beehive?
Well, I think the women. We had some wonderful men working on the show, of course, but just these women with incredible voices. And it was so cool because we were all so different. All of the qualities, the personalities, the voices, everything was different about each of us. But I love that we each had our moment to shine, and then we also had our time to come together as an ensemble and, lift each other up. And then, of course, another favorite part was meeting Michael Wilkins.
I was about to say, something else came out of that whole production that
I did fall in love with somebody, which was pretty nice.
That's awesome. I love Mike Wilkins, and I'm so glad that the two of you have met up in your lives, and that you're on this incredible journey with each other. Y'all seem to be very happy, so I'm happy for the two of you.
Lots of music together, and it's a dream.
That's awesome. Now, your first appearance though with Oregon Cabaret Theater was Bat Boy. That was the first time you and I had met and worked together, and Dad, I know. Actually, that was kind of the first time I was working. I had played fathers before, but you know how things in theater work. Like, sometimes you can get cast much older than what you actually are, and you're putting the gray in the hair and all that stuff. So I had done that. I had been doing that kind of crap since I was like in my 20s. And so it was really Bat Boy, and meeting you and working with you was the first time that it really sunk in, playing your dad, and you were talking to me and being like, yeah, this is how old I am. And I was like, oh, I am really old enough to be her dad.
Yeah. I think that casting was amazing too, because you and Val having me as a daughter, I was like, that's spot on.
Yeah, I thought it worked out great. And what a crazy kooky show. Like, so much fun.
Everyone and everything about that show was just so bizarre. I remember reading, bizarre in a good way. I remember reading the script. I didn't really know the show at all. And looking back at my audition video, Jonathan Hoover and I always joke about this. He was like, you had no clue what was going on, but what I knew is that you were honest and you were trying to bring truth to it.
But isn't that something that's cool to be said, though, about the character of Shelley, is that kind of she didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
So
she's like, oh, he's my brother? What? He's kind of a bat? Yeah, but I remember reading the script and being like, what am I getting myself into? Is this going to be too weird? Am I going to like it? And then I got there, and the way it was directed and the way that we all came together, I think just showed how you can take something on that doesn't really resonate with you on paper, because it didn't resonate with me on paper. And then it ended up really meaning a lot to me and being an incredible experience, and I think a great show.
You see what you are, and the
back my bride. She herself decided to get rid of the boy. She'll admit she was wrong to return for long. She'll be singing a song for comfort and joy. The title of your show, and then give us a little insight into what the show and what the audience can expect from your cabaret.
Yeah, so it's The Music That Made Me, Phantom to Fleetwood. And so that gives you a little idea of what you'll be hearing. It sounds like it's very broad, but it actually kind of follows a pretty specific journey that I went through from theater kid who was just completely consumed by Broadway from the time I was 3 years old. So just a sneak preview of what you're going to hear, I will actually be doing a medley that was my debut in kindergarten. It was my public debut, and it's a Broadway medley, and so I will be doing that for the first time since I was 5.
Oh my God, I love that. That is number one, adorable. But how cool to be like, you have such a reflective memory about yourself as a performer that goes all the way back to like kindergarten.
Then kind of when I entered middle school and high school, I started listening to different genres. And I feel like that opened up my whole world. I started listening to folk and country and rock and singer-songwriters, I mean, everything, jazz. And I always kind of felt like I was choosing between two worlds, kind of my folk rock world, singer-songwriter, and musical theater. And I went off to college and studied musical theater, and I knew that's what I wanted to do, but I also felt this other thing tugging at me. And I always thought of them as kind of crossing each other out, which now I know they absolutely don't do that. And especially in the last few years, there's all these incredible musicals that are by singer-songwriters, about singer-songwriters, and really just the knowledge of those genres has opened up my possibilities for musical theater. And so they've kind of, those two worlds, those two passions kind of have come together in my career and made it what it is. So that's kind of the journey of the show, is taking the audience with me through that journey, and then back again to theater, but in kind of a different way.
I love that. You know, I one of the things I miss about living in New York City and you know, being there is that is going to see and support friends, and not just friends and colleagues, but sometimes people I don't even know. But someone's like, "You need to go see this cabaret that so and so has put together, because I think you would really enjoy them." And what I loved about going to cabarets, you know, one person only, you know, one man, one woman shows, was because you always, they're so personal. They gave you little slices of who they are as an artist, and not just as an artist, but as a person, in between their acts and in between their songs or whatever they were, you know, doing. It was, I really started to grow an appreciation for that. And I'm really happy that we're going to be doing that this fall with so many different artists coming in and, you know, providing, you know, entertainment and things that inspire them, the music that inspires them. So I'm excited to see your show and
I'm excited to do it. And
yeah.
I get to perform with Mike too, and we'll be doing a couple of duets.
That's exactly right. I'm so excited about that.
He's singing. He's usually the piano man, but he'll be lending his beautiful voice.
Yeah, he's got a great voice. He's got a great voice. And he's gonna. So you guys are gonna be pretty much here with us for pretty much the stay of the fall season.
Yeah, we're so excited too. I mean, Ashland and the Cab has really become my theater home, and also just a second home. The fact that I went through the first months of the pandemic in Ashland, that is something that will never go away. And one of my first jobs out of school, where I fell in love, where I spent the pandemic, Ashland means the world to me. So actually to get to perform in public for the first time since all of this in Ashland just feels right.
Well, let me say that it is right, and Carrie, we're really excited to have you come back. So, so get back here quickly and safely, okay?
I will. I promise.
All right. All right, thank you so much, Carrie. I really do appreciate you joining me on today's Cab Gab. Again, if you would like to see Carrie's show, be sure to call our box office. You're not going to want to miss it. That phone number is 541-488-2902. Also, if you would like to know more about her show or the other shows for the Cabaret series that are coming up, again, playing September 9th through November the 7th, visit our website, OregonCabaret.com. Last but not least, if you want to drop me a message, feel free to do so. I love hearing from people, so it means the world to me. So you can drop a message to me, Galloway Stevens, via email address cabgab@OregonCabaret.com. All right, thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.